Hello, Dad. This is Jay Warren. This is the Dadhood Journey podcast. And today's topic is this: finding peace in monotony. Let's do it.
Hi, my name's Niko, and you're listening to my dad, Jay Warren. This is the Dadhood Journey podcast. Thanks for listening. Pretty good. Now can we listen to it?
Yep. All right, Dad. So I came up with this title, and it is super flowery for what I'm actually going to be talking about. Finding peace in monotony. It was a revelation. It was an insight or something that came to me when I was hanging out with Niko the other day at my place. It basically came from, we were spending the day and I had all kinds of ideas for what we could do for the day. Going for a little hike, going to the playground. We have passes right now that are expiring in Legoland, so we could even do like a Legoland afternoon, which is such a blessing, like living so close to Legoland and having these Costco deals on a pass, unlimited pass for a couple months that my parents picked up. We could like go to Legoland for an afternoon and just like mess around for a little bit and then leave. How awesome is that? There's people that travel all over the country and the world to go to Legoland, and we could just like go for an afternoon or not, which was not what happened because he was definitely run down, hadn't slept well, so doing a big thing like that was not in the cards. So what did we end up doing? We ended up cleaning up all of the leaves on the front grass in front of my house, and it was awesome. So he loves doing things like that. Like, it's not necessarily gardening. I wouldn't say that he loves gardening. He loves all things about trash cans and recycling and the green guy, meaning the like green waste stuff. And you know, I live in San Diego. It's not like fall weather. Winter weather is not real fall or winter weather, depending on where you are in the country. We actually had a rainstorm, and that's like our weather. It had rained for a day. It just gets a little cooler. But the tree that's in front of my new place it drops its leaves, and so there were lots and lots of leaves all over the front, and he wanted to pick them all up and put them in the green guy, and I was totally cool with it. There's another tree back at our old place that drops leaves, and there's been plenty of times where that's totally what he wanted to do, and he wants me doing it with him, and so I'm bending down and like picking up leaves, and it just was not what I wanted to do, and I wasn't fully present with it, but this time I just totally was. And it was really just easy and peaceful just picking up leaves. I mean, it wasn't like we had a rake. We were literally on hands and knees, and I don't have a huge front yard by any means. But we just picked up leaves, put them in this like bucket that he wanted it to be the bucket that I'd be the picker-upper guy and he would be the dumper guy. And so we'd fill up this little bucket of leaves, and then he'd dump them in the big green waste recycling thing. And we just did that, and we did it for an hour and a half. Like, I was looking at the front yard. I'm like, okay, like this is probably gonna be like a 10-minute deal. Like, that's how long it's gonna last. Then he's gonna want to do something else. Nope, it was not at all. Like, then we went into the backyard and did it too. But the title of this and the revelation that I had that inspired this episode was, with all the goings on, and I mean, you know, Dad, what's going on in my life, like, it's just hectic and stressful, and there's just a lot of moving parts, and on top of my business, and there's like some business opportunity things that are blowing up right now that are just super cool, but headspace is a little busy. It was really nice to just be on the grass with my son, picking up leaves and putting them in a trash can. Like, that's all we were doing, and in my head, that's all I was doing, which was such a great relaxation, a nice break. And he's at an age, he's 5 now, like we start chatting about things, and we're not having like deep conversations about the meaning of life or anything like that, but he's at an age now where like he'll ask questions about things that don't come up when we're cooking dinner or over dinner and stuff like that. It's just kind of the monotony of looking for a leaf and putting it into the green guy. It's kind of like doing a puzzle. Like sometimes, not so much like doing a kid's puzzle with Niko, although he loves doing those kind of floorboard ones that are like 100 pieces. But I used to love doing jigsaw puzzles, just because it's the same kind of thing, I guess. I hadn't really thought about that until just now, that it's just simple. It's not hard brain work at all. Like it takes your attention and your focus enough that you can't multitask doing a puzzle. It's not like you're watching TV and checking email while doing a puzzle. You're just doing the puzzle and just listening to music probably. And it's just peaceful, And the same was true about doing the leaves. Like he started asking about like his friends and like what they were doing. And it was really nice. And it was a nice bonding time for me with Niko, but it was also a really nice like mental break. And I fully get that activity and the peace I got and the enjoyment I got out of it was absolutely my choice. I could have been in a space of, all right, there's more boxes that I could unload. We could be doing something more fun, like more Facebook postable fun, where I take a picture of us doing something cool and put it on Facebook. This was like, so what'd you do today? We picked up leaves. It wasn't like we were doing gardening work. It's not like, I like raked the leaves and then like did this and did that. Like we just putzed around, and we have a really good time doing that. And we haven't had a chance to do that in a long time. So it was really good, I think, for both of us in a kind of winding down, sinking in, bonding, spending time together. That, I have always said that Niko is a quality time kid. Like if you know the 5 love languages and everything, like he just likes spending time together. And like with the leaves thing, he wants to do the leaves, like pick up the leaves, but he wants me doing it with him, right? So if I was doing other stuff, even if it was like other yard work or things like that, or putting things away in the garage while he was in the front yard doing this stuff, he would want me like doing the leaves with him. So like that's like a quality time thing, right? So I think all kids are like that. I mean, I can't say that like a 3-year-old is going to be like, oh no, that's like a words person, or like acts of service, that they're going to be, those are all the love languages things. But for him to be able to spend time with me and connect on just in the first couple of days of this new transition was really helpful. And so I just encourage you, Dad, to figure out what that kind of experience would look like. It could be like putting a Lego together. It could be drawing. It could be doing puzzles or something like that, other than like screen time. Like screen time's not necessarily like bonding, because the kids get so hyper focused on that. It's not like being like, oh, we watched a movie together, it was a nice time, in the same way that it can be if you're doing something physical, like mentally not learning something, but just doing stuff and having some quality time together. I know it was really just peaceful doing something as monotonous as just putting leaves there. And there were times where I'd look up and be like, oh man, we got a lot of work to do if we're going to complete this. And then I was like, I don't care if we get it completed. It's a Sisyphean task, right? Like the wind's blowing and more leaves are falling onto the grass, and there was a storm coming through with tons of wind, so I knew there was just gonna be more leaves. It's not like, oh, I completed it, like job well done, like in an hour after getting all the leaves done, there's gonna be more there. It was just in the doing and in the peace of the doing. That was something that was so monotonous, that was really helpful. So look for those kind of things with you and your kiddo spending time that can have that kind of break where it's not super active. It's like focusing on a task, but it kind of opens up for you to just be in that flow and not thinking about what things you should be doing instead, where you can just be there with your kids spending that time. So that's the message in that. In finding peace in monotony. I'm talking about picking up leaves in my front yard. Crazy. So hope that helps. Look for that. Those times, if you can create more and more of it, like, is definitely bonding for your kid, and peaceful for you. So until next time, Dad, take good care of yourself, take good care of your family, and we'll connect on the next episode.
I hope you enjoyed that episode. You can hang out with other dads in our Facebook group. Just go to Facebook, search for the Dadhood Journey, and apply to get in. See you there, and see you on the next episode. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Perfect.
There you go, Dan.